Yo, yo, yo. Are we ready yet? I think we are. Uh, We're at least almost. Okay. Almost. Good evening and welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time, right here on this radio station. WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, as well as WRLN Radio. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a great evening so far. If you had a bad day, well, you come to the right place. Yeah, because I can make it better. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, officially checking in. Also officially checking in on Facebook, Mr. Lydell Redmond, aka Mr. Hypnotic, as well as Trish. I mean, right at 9 o'clock too. No sooner than I hit the live button, there they are. Right, coming up in our last hour. I do a little thing we call, yeah, that's what it's, yeah, that's what it's called. It's called foreplay. Four songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. Happens in our last hour, and I'll tell you how I got this nifty mic stand all later on in the broadcast, right here on Bedtime Stories. Kick it off with the one and only, the Empress. This is Lady Gladys Knight. Ooh, ooh. This is Al Greer. What's up? Yep. I can hear you loud and clear. Say that one more time. Your streaker. Oh, Spreaker, yeah. SPREAKER. No. SPR, Spreaker, Spreaker.
Yeah, all right. Hey, what up, Al?
What up? What up? What up?
Tony Blair.
Tony Blair,
Yeah.
Prime Minister Tony Blair. What's going on, sir?
Hey, I got an extra banner over here that we had made for you and stuff, right?
Okay.
I was trying to tell, your buddy.
Cherry.
Yeah, man, I did not know he had a stroke, man. He was that bad off, man.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't know. I never seen him in like a year and a half and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know it got to this point right here, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's still up on his feet, though.
Oh, he hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't. It slowed him down, but it hasn't stopped him.
Man, I like that energy in him. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing to stop that beat right there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him Saturday at the Studebaker Theater. Him and his wife. So he's still kicking. He ain't kicking high, but he's still kicking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but anyhow, I got an extra banner over here if you guys need one.
All right, I'll come get it.
Yeah, we'll shoot some dice for it or something.
Okay, cool.
All right. I'll see you Wednesday, man.
All right. Later. Woo! I heard Al Greer claims to have seen a toddler walking along the highway, then faked his own kidnapping. Trish said, "Yeah, we heard you were involved." You know, when I heard that story, it sounded far-fetched. A baby walking on the expressway. Right. A baby walking on the expressway. So she made the whole story up. It sounded far-fetched when I first heard it. But, after she said she had lied about the whole thing, it put you in the mind of, the whole Jussie Smollett incident that that Kim Fox let him go for. But I don't even think Kim Fox would have let this lady go for that story. That was too far-fetched. I'm like, okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Anyway, back to that story. All of that, all that money they spent, the manpower and all of that stuff on trying to find her and the kidnappers, and there were no kidnappers. She faked her own kidnapping. I believe it. That you are the house guest from hell. Yes, I am. After a few more weeks of staying at your house, you'll be like, bruh, don't you have somewhere to go? I'd be like, no, I have nowhere else to go. No, You'd be like, will you get out? You like that, huh? House guest from hell. Like, go home. You know, you'd be like, I'd be like, have my feet on the cocktail table or something. You know, I give you 48 hours. I know, right? Um, I have my feet on your cocktail table. You'd be like, do you put your feet on the cocktail table at home? I said, I don't have no furniture. She she's not the first, won't be the last. Hey, Guitar Mike, what's going on, sir? Roberta, hey, boom, 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 boom. It's crazy. She saw a baby walking on the expressway. Mm. Um, Once again, it already sounded far fetched. It just did. It just sounded so far fetched, but you know. So I'm interested to hear why she did it. Was she looking, you know, and ladies, don't get upset with me for what I'm about to say. Ladies, don't get upset. But sometimes you getting attention goes overboard. And I think that's uh, one of those times where, you know, that getting attention wasn't called for. Like, okay, my man's not looking at me. Maybe if I come up missing, you know, I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. And I'll tell you why. Because, say, for instance, you just decide that you're going to disappear, right? So that man will miss you. What happens is sometimes it backfires and it really happens. And you really get gone. Not hoping, you're not wishing that you would get gone, but it happens. You know, it happens. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, you know. And, sometimes we need a chance to miss you all. But when missing you, excuse me, when missing you goes overboard, you know, Ronnie said, let that be my ex. Right. You fake your disappearance and then you end up disappearing totally. And that's just it. You got to be careful with stuff like that. So now she has a reputation now. So no man is going to be able to give her enough attention. And no man is going to give her attention at this point. Because, her name is out there. Her name is worldwide right now. It's gone beyond the local level. It's gone through the roof. It's gone bonkers. And it's like nobody's gonna want to date this girl. broad person. Nobody's going to want to date her at this point. Oh, ain't you the broad that disappeared and saw the baby walking on the expressway? It's going to be years before she forgets, people forget about that. She is always going to be known as the woman who cried wolf. Michael Henderson, Roberta Flack at the concert right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Got a new mic stand, but my mic still sounds crazy. Hold on, let me jack it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, all right, that's a little better. So, there we go. That's even better. So the young lady who cried wolf, that's what I'm calling her, who faked her own abduction, who claimed to see a baby walking on the expressway. Okay, so, what is she going to do at this point? Because, she's going to have to go to a whole nother town, change her name, and like Trish said, get plastic surgery. Because who's going to want to date her at this point? It's like, oh, that's the young lady who wanted the attention from her boyfriend. Even he looks like a fool. Nobody's going to want to date him either, But then again, you never know. He might be the one that's, more popular, because a lot of women are going to probably throw themselves at him at this point. It's like, I won't disappear on you. That's the craziest thing ever, I've heard of a lot of things, they're calling her Mrs. Smollett now, like, that's crazy. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I'll tell you about this mic stand later, all right? And no, Ronnie, is it the mic or the user? Ha, 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 ha. Very funny. What's up to Carl Dobbins, DJ Carl Dobbins, and Les Keith Scott, a.k.a. Kiki. So ain't nobody going to want to date this broad. Sorry, I'm calling it like it is. They all know what he got that made her do all of that. Okay, maybe I'm missing something. She is being a comedian tonight, huh? I know, right? Mm-hmm. What's up, Artina? Lindsay? Haven't seen you in a long time. Mm-mm-mm. What's going on, girly girl? Shoot, I have not seen you from my days at GCI. Good Lord, yeah. Hey, boo. Oh, cool. I'll get my jacket this weekend, Kiki. Thank you, sir. If it ain't 14K with a curve or a hook, I'm going to leave that alone. But once again, who's going to want to date her after this? She's going to have to go, not out of town, but, to Jamaica somewhere and find Dexter, because ain't nobody gonna want to be bothered with her. Find Winston Shakespeare down in so she can get her groove back. I'm just saying. If you can fit it, you can have it. Thank you. Pair of bees. She said, house guest from hell? Yeah, I drink up all your Hennessy you got on yourself. Hey, fat girl. Come here. Are you ticklish? Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me. I'm skinny. Yeah, I'm the house guest. I drink up all your Hennessy you got on your shelf. No, I won't, because I don't drink Hennessy. Now, I'll drink up all your tequila that you got on your shelf. So I'm a tequila head. I found out that if I'm going to drink liquor, then it's going to have to be clear. Dark liquor, I can't drink. I remember the last time, and I loved it. Oh, my God. Apple Crown Royal. And this was back when I was in, what was I in? Living in Calumet City. Skinny with a beer gut. Yep, that's me. Well, you know what they say. You cannot drive a nail without a little weight behind the hammer. So, yeah. So there. But anyway, that is just, that's a crazy story. That is crazy. And, once again, where is she going to go? Where nobody knows who she is. I'm just saying. I don't even think Troy would want her at this point, And, he'd take anything put on his plate. Apple Crown Royal is a favorite of mine. Girl, I drank some Apple Crown Royal. And was knocked out. I mean, when I say I was knocked out, this is when I was living in Calumet City. I was staying in my cousin's basement. It was a fully finished basement. This basement had a living room. It had a storage space to put my equipment. I had my own studio, everything, and it had a jacuzzi. All of that. Beautiful. And she had the whole upstairs, and she never had to see me, right? Had my TV, the TV I got back here behind me. Came home one night. It was a Friday. I'll never forget it. Stopped, got my sharks. Stopped, got my Apple Crown, and I drank. And at one point, I went to stand up, and I lost my balance. True story. I lost my balance, and I fell. I fell on my elbow. I thought I'd broken my arm. And when I got up, because I was surprised that, I didn't have any broken bones, my old ass. So I found that I had no broken bones. And I laughed. I laughed. Because, it's the first time I used to hear these stories about people falling out drunk. And it's the first time it ever happened to me. I fell out drunk. But I did it at home. And I did it in the bedroom of the, of the basement. And that was it. soon thereafter, I moved out. You know, and it had nothing to do with me falling out drunk. It had a lot to do with my cousin who was, you know, yeah. Yeah, crazy. When I say it was crazy, it was crazy. Mm-mm. I mean, just like I said, crazy. She was she was on that stuff. I heard Al Greer gets drunk from using rubbing alcohol. Nope, it's actually witch hazel, which means I get high every morning after I shave. I splash the witch hazel on my face, and after that, I'm like, whoa, I'm up now. I'm like crazy. There's out there's out online comedian. Okay, yeah. First officially say the viewer counter on this page is absolutely broken. Because it says 204. Oh well. Sorry you feel that way, Troy. Like I always tell you guys, like, comment, and share. Look what happened. Like, comment, and share. And it's done. Well, you think the counter is broken. I don't know. I don't know. Bubs, I don't know, Bubs. Bubsy. Carl Dobbin said the same thing. That's what I say. Oh well. Yeah. Y'all just won't let me be great, huh? Just won't let me be great. Hey. That's like the other night somebody said, you're gonna be late for work. I'm like, I deserve the right to be late for work. I've done it for so long. It's like I show up when I get there. It's like, you know, nobody else can do that, but I show up and I leave early because I can just look over here and see the station on my other computer. So I'm monitoring two different stations. I'm monitoring VON on one, and then on the other one, I'm monitoring WBGX. So it's what I do. You know, I always said I would never cheat on my girlfriend or my wife, unless her name was Dell, HP, or maybe even Apple. I don't know. I might date an Apple heifer, but for the most part, these are my, excuse my language, these are my bitches right here. Dell, HP. It's what I do. Do you hear all those people screaming? They were screaming for Marvin Gaye, I tell you. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. So you guys want to hear the story about the mic stand? Looks all professional and stuff. There's a app that I use on my phone. It's called Offer Up. And what happens is, people are selling stuff that they don't need anymore, and most of the time, it's younger people because they really don't care about the money. They just want to get rid of it. He sent me a text message today. He's like, are we still meeting today for the mic stand? Yes. He said, oh, okay. I'm also selling a gaming PC for $800. Well, first of all, I don't game, you know, and for $800, I definitely don't game. $800 for a computer, but it's a huge computer though. It's got like 2 terabytes or 3 terabytes of memory in it. I mean, I could plug other computers up to that one, use the big one as a server, but I just don't have $800 for that. But anyway, the mic stand was only $30. I was $2 short. I said, I'm sorry, I could go to the cash station, but it's gonna cost me more to just give you $2. He said, I'll take it. I'm like, okay, cool. So for $28, I got this professional mic stand. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Troy the hater. He's like, how come you got so many people on it? I think your viewer counter is broken. Yeah, okay. Sorry you feel that way, Troy. Checkmate. Here's George Benson, This Masquerade on Bedtime Stories. Hey, Bubs. Do-do-do-do-do. Oh, boy. Mm-mm. It's off by what? It's off by 200. Say what you want. Say whatever you want. Because when it gets that high, then I start getting paid. So don't hate. Don't hate, participate. Don't forget where it says like, comment, and share, go ahead and share it. Don't be a hater, be a congratulator. That's all I got to say. Mm-mm. So sorry. I used to say, sorry, Charlie. But thanks anyway. Chiffon. What's going on, Chiffon? Mm-mm. Y'all think he could get to 350? That would burn Troy up. He would spontaneously combust. Mm-mm. Ever seen a troll doll catch fire? Yeah. Mm-mm. Let's place bets. 353. Woo! Mm-mm-mm. Troy would just burn up. Howdy, Chiffon. How are you, Chiffon? Chiffon. Carl Dobbins. You have anything going on this weekend, or are you? 'Cause I know sometimes you like to rent my equipment, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't have anything planned for yeah for this weekend. He's definitely a troll. I had to block him before I go to Facebook Facebook jail. Oh, you said work. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Um, afford to pay another Vietnamese kid to log on to his fake 150 profile. Oh, August. Okay, okay. August 11th or 12th. Okay. Mm-mm. Oh, Troy. Y'all get up off Troy now. No, go ahead. I don't care. Like Tornado used to say, kin to me. Don't be mad, Troy. Troy is pissed right now. Mm-mm. Probably send me a picture of his hair just caught fire. Just, ah! Uh-oh. Like Stripe and Gremlins. Just ah. If he hit 350, y'all got to donate to his cash out. Mm-mm. Woo, boy. Not the Cash App, but the Zelle app. I don't know, for some strange reason, Cash App cut me off. I guess they must have thought I was a drug dealer. I was giving out so much money. Oh, can you Cash App me $35? And it got really bad when I was staying with my cousin. It was $15 a day. Now, how many people know? I'm just saying. $15 a day. So I deducted it from the rent. Ooh, she got pissed. Ooh, she was more pissed than Troy is right now. I'm like, sorry. He said he got smoke coming out of his ears. I know, right? I'm just saying. Anyway, so the kid gave me the mic stand for $28. It's a nice sturdy one. I love it. Looks like the ones at the radio station. Yeah. Of course, I still have the little skinny ones. Those come in handy for something else. So if I ever start my radio station back, I'll have those. I'll have 4 of those to use, and this one, of course, will stay here. But anyway, that's $400 for the month. And that's cool. That's what I'm talking about. You know, what you said, that's over $400 a month. Well, like the gospel song says, I deserve it. I really do. That would be just so cool too. That would be really cool. You know, you'll never hear me beg about money ever again. Okay, or at least for a while. Yep. You'll never hear me begging on the air like, please send me some money, please. So I can make it through the week. And I'm not making light of that. Trust me. I'm definitely not making light of that because what happened week before last, I mean, it was really bad. It was so bad that I don't even remember what happened, why I didn't have any money on Monday. You know, I I don't know. I don't know. All I know is the Monday I didn't have anything. I didn't have money to get back and forth to work. I was like, this is awful. This is terrible. But thank goodness, to Pat and to Ronnie and to Trish and to um and Pamela, you know. Latanya Lynn Garrett, aka Miss Hollywood. Miss Hollywood. What's going on, Miss Hollywood? Thank you for joining me on my live. As you can see, I got a few people watching me tonight. Just a few. And I once again, I appreciate the listeners, the followers. I really do. Um, it's been a while, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to all of you all that are listening right now. It means a lot to me. I've been doing this for umpteen years, and I just thank you all for chiming in, for watching bedtime stories, and still where it says like, comment, and share, still share it. You know, share it with your people on your page. All right. Welcome to the new 200 to the 200 new listeners night. Please make yourself known and comment. It's weird that only 4 and 5 of us are talking. I know, right? Troy just can't believe it. He's just, you remember Petticoat Junction? Well, Troy is from not Hootersville. He's from Hatersville. Yeah. Parabubble says, I'm new. Hey. Mm-mm. Love we made. Manhattan Transfer, the original version of Mystery, redone by Anita Baker, written by Rod Temperton, formerly of the group Heatwave, and of course he worked with Quincy Jones to develop the Michael Jackson album, Rock With You, or with Rock With You on it. Name of the album was called Off the Wall, but whoa, how cool is that? Rod Temperton, he would just write like a song or two a day. He was just that talented. When he left Heatwave to go work for Quincy Jones, he continued to write songs for Heatwave as well as Michael Jackson and others. The cool thing about it is he had his allegiance to Heatwave. So whatever songs he wrote, he would give them to, Heatwave first, and they would decide if they wanted to keep the song and record it, or pass it on to somebody else. That was his allegiance to his group, even though he was no longer involved with them. He would send those songs back to them and say, okay, I wrote this song here. You want to do this song? I'm like, wow. One of the songs that he wrote that was recorded by Heatwave but not released was this one by George Benson, which appeared on his Give Me the Night album. So when Heatwave didn't release this one, George Benson did. Was never released as a single on his album, but it is such a beautiful song. It's called Turn Out the Lamplight. George Benson on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Always gonna be that I would rather be. Good Lord. Baby, your smile. Trish is watching from Northwest Indiana. Hello. Hello to Northwest Indiana, where I really got my start in radio. I had to go to Gary, Indiana in order to get into the business, because nobody was trying to hire me when I was here in Chicago. But when I went to Gary, like I went out of town or something, when I went to Gary, that's when they started taking notice of me. And eventually I ended up at Dusty Radio 1390, thanks to Richard Earl Piggy, also known as the original Dr. Dusty. That's where he got the name from. He was the original Dr. Dusty. Of course, I came under him, so. But I talk about these people all the time. Richard Piggy, Herb Kent, Jim Rags, Bobby OJ, Doug Banks, Jay Johnson. You know, the list goes on and on. All the WVON good guys. You know, I'm fortunate because they all took me under their wing. And I became, you know, the snotty-nosed nephew that, you know, was always in their face about, you know, what you gonna teach me today? You gonna teach me this? Okay. And that was it. You know, these people were, you know, my godfathers and mothers. I have a new student, well, not student, but a gentleman that I'm training at work. And he mentioned, you know, Bernadine C. Washington. I'm like, wow, you remember her? He said, I was a little boy, but yes, I remember Bernadine C. Washington. For those of you who didn't grow up in the 60s and early 70s, Bernadine was the vice president and general manager of the radio station. The vice president of a black radio station. Of course, the owners were Leonard and Phil Chess of Chess Records, but they allowed Lucky Cordell and Bernadine C. Washington to run their station, as well as Purvis Spann and E. Rodney Jones. I didn't get to know E. Rodney Jones that well, but I did know Purvis Spann because he helped get VON back on its feet after people had written VON off. You know, VON has been reincarnated, so to say. You know, they went from being the top music station in Chicago to being the only black talk station. You know, they went from playing music to talk it, because they said, nobody wants to hear music on AM anymore, which I thought was crazy. There's a station all the way down in Memphis, WDIA, 1070 AM. I'm like, people are still listening to it, but they're listening to DIA on the internet. And, they still have a large listenership who listen to WDIA. Matter of fact, I used to listen to them in the morning when Bobby OJ was still with us. I can't believe it's been almost 2 years now since we lost Bobby OJ. It's just crazy. And they still never said what he died from. They said he just slumped down in his chair and was gone. Bobby used to take me everywhere with him. I was his, I guess, a Bobby OJ mascot, I guess you could say. But Bobby was one of the best. His cousin, Melvin Jones, said, Bobby was the last of the super jocks. And he was. He was the last of the super jocks. And I'm sorry, no shade on Tom Joyner, but if Bobby decided he was going to go syndicated, he'd have crushed Tom Joyner, because every town that had Tom Joyner, they would bring Bobby OJ into town to beat him. That's how bad Bobby was. They're like, oh, we got this Tom Joyner guy. Oh, bring Bobby OJ, sick him on him. And that's what happened. Bobby was the absolute best. He was the king of Memphis radio, which says a lot. The king of Memphis radio, the king. All 5'2" of him, he was the king. And while he was here, he was the PD of 1390, which was also known as WVON at the time. And there was nobody that I knew of that could beat Bobby. Like I said, Tom Joyner, as great as Tom was, Bobby was that guy. Bobby OJ was that guy. Joe Louis Jones, that was his birth name. But Bobby OJ couldn't be touched. He was at both BMX and 1390 before he went back down south. He was bad. I'm glad to say he was my buddy, and he let me hang out with him, and which was cool, because he needed somebody to watch his car while he went upstairs and, made his visits, as he says. He told me something once. He said he used to call me Lons. He said, Lons, when you're on the air, you belong to every woman, and he didn't use the word woman. Every woman that's listening to you, you belong to them when you're on the air. What you do afterwards, that's your business. Don't ever tell anybody on the air that you have a girlfriend. I said, no. He said, if you do, don't use her real name. So I would come up with nicknames for all my girlfriends. The tall lady with the funny name, the Princess of Avalon, the Princess of Beverly, and so on and so forth. One time I was coming back from Rio de Janeiro, never will forget it. My then girlfriend, who had a real name, met me at the airport. One of the young ladies saw me and said, this must be the tall lady with the funny name. I said, yes, it is. like Maria, yeah. I said, yes, this is the tall lady with the funny name. And I never gave that lady her real name because I knew that if she was listening to me that closely, that she would hurt my girlfriend if she found out who she was. And this was before social media. So, like Maria, exactly. Exactly. That name has been around a long time. there, were, there were a lot of Marias, okay? Love that bass line on that song. Alicia Myers, if you play your cards right. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. I was talking about Bobby OJ, who we lost about a good 2 years ago. And Bobby was one of my mentors. And he always told me, he said, even if you have a girlfriend or a wife, don't talk about them on the air. Because when you're on the air, you belong to those people who are listening to you, those women. And he didn't use that term. He said, those are the ones that listen to you. Those are the ones that pay the bills for your woman or wife to live. So you don't want to blow that. Richard Peggy told me that as well. He had a nickname for his wife, and that nickname was Outer Drive Annie. That was not her real name, but Outer Drive Annie, because one night somebody tried to run her off the road on the outer drive, thinking that some woman had taken his car. Well, he drove her car because he owned a Jeep. But if you didn't see him in the Jeep, then he was driving the stinking Lincoln. And somebody tried to run her off the road. She was I guess you could say, a fanatic. So there you go. Anyway, that's another bedtime story, which is sponsored by our good friends over at Grubhub.
They make you good. Get the food you love with perks from Grub What You Love.
Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories, right here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis and Chicago, WRLNradio.com, and Jam 98. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep, with the greatest love songs of all time. Starring Troy, aka Troll. Pair of Bubbles said, Troy, get your Zelle ready. Troy ain't gonna give me no money. He didn't give me any money the first time I got married. He ain't gonna give me nothing. I ain't worried about it though. Anyway, before Stax Records went belly up, Isaac Hayes continued to crank out music until there was no more company, until he switched to another record company, which he had his own custom label, which was Hot Buttered Soul. But before he left, he did an album called Joy. And this was one of the songs from that album, Joy. Album. Not CD, but album, all right? This is A Man Will Be a Man on Bedtime Stories. Michael Perkins said, all viewers don't comment, but hey, I'm real. My man, Mike, what's going on? Go on, Mike. Oh, boy. What say you now, Troy? I got backup tonight. I got back up. We're at 316, Troy. What say you? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Tomorrow's supposed to be 91 degrees. Troy broke. He ain't giving up 2 pennies to rub together. Like I said, Troy ain't giving me no money. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to close the door. I was told that you all can hear me flushing the toilet and flipping the toilet seat. I know better now. I know better. Did you guys hear anything that time? No. Okay, cool. I know, right? Slamming the toilet seat. That's not good etiquette. I know, right? I learned to close the door now. The door to the studio and the door to the bathroom. So you don't hear the toilet seat go slam. This mic is very sensitive. I forgot how much I paid for this camera, but it's worth every penny that I paid for it. This is what you hear now. Me getting ready to eat when foreplay comes. But yeah, I was told you could hear everything throughout my house. And I'm like, which is weird. It's very weird. I gotta know. I gotta remember to close the door. Like when Ronnie sends me my sandwich and she says, "Okay, go pick up your sandwich. The guy's at the door." You can hear him knocking on the door, and it comes over the air. It's like, dang. You hear me open the door, walk down the stairs, open the other door to hear the guy, "Hey, your sandwich. Thank you, sir." Now that I know Michael Perkins, that they can hear everything, yeah, I'm going, yeah. And then Trish said they can see you smoking weed on the air, even though I turned my head and everything else. I mean, it's like, duh, you can see the smoke, right? Even if I was vaping that night. No, I did light up one. Yes, I sure did. Which I won't because he's going to his meeting. You damn right, boy. And that's just it, Ronnie. How you gonna send me a sandwich that was that good and then expect me not to get hooked? Woo! I got hooked on that sandwich. And all it was just a corned beef sandwich. But it was a corned beef sub from Mr. Submarine. So it had like a pound, it was like AP Deli on steroids. If AP Deli is good, then this was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of sandwiches. It was like, you like that sandwich? Ah, eat it all. Good man, you can't eat it all. Ah, it's like, dang. Why are we talking about sandwiches? Do you have a girlfriend, fine man? Well, currently, I'm on hiatus, so that's probably why I'm talking about sandwiches and not women. When I was a kid, my father, rest his soul, he said to me once. I said, Dad, why don't you ever talk to me? He's like, all you talk about is records and girls. We have nothing in common. I said, as I remember, sir, you introduced me to music. You bought me my first record player, which was a Zenith with the speaker built in. And he bought me 2 albums. Now, albums were like really cheap back then, So he got me 2 albums that he thought I should have. I was like, I'd never heard of this stuff before in my life. But I played them. I said, Daddy, where's the other speaker? How come it doesn't sound like the hi-fi over here, which is a big piece of furniture? He's like, I'll adjust it. So he adjusted it. It had volume and it had a tone knob. Tone. Not bass and treble, tone. It's like, okay. I appreciated it though. I heard I needed to comment. Hello, everyone. Real person here. Chevelle Capital. Hello. Caring Culture by Coretta. Hello. Hello. Oh, you handsome musicologist. I like that. Thank you. Yeah. I'm on hiatus. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to, be on hiatus. Right. Don't believe that, guys. Don't believe it. I mean, there was a time that I was like just single. I mean, single and not ready to mingle. And I don't mind telling you guys, and you know my story. Get out of your ear. It's bringing your 350 views down. Okay, all right. But, I was, single for a while. I was upset. you know. But anyway, I just have to say this. I do have someone special in my life, but I can't talk about it. I just can't. Whenever I say I have somebody, it's like people come out of the woodworks. It gets crazy. Like I said earlier, you know, I never mention anyone's real name or whatever. It throws down the listenership. It just brings it all the way down. So I'll be back to like 15 or 20 tomorrow. Just. But anyway, it's crazy. Ronnie said it's me. See, there you go. It's Ronnie. Trish said it's me. What is it? I am Malcolm X. I am Malcolm X. Anyway. But sometimes you just have to keep your business to yourself. And my mother, before she passed, God rest her soul, she said, don't put your business on Facebook. Now, my mother had never been on Facebook a day in her life and didn't like to be put on Facebook. She was like, baby, don't put your business on Facebook because they will come after you. Women and men. Do. From the album Hot Buttered Soul from 1969. That is Isaac Hayes and One Woman, which was the shortest song on the entire album, which included Walk On By, Hyperbolic Syllabus, the rest of that. And By the Time I Get to Phoenix, only 4 cuts. That was the shortest one. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to Light Bright 1085. Thank you for checking in on Facebook. I appreciate you guys tonight. I really do. Don't forget where it says like, comment, and share. Just go ahead and hit share. I appreciate it because sharing is caring. That's what we say around here. It's your peanut butter brother, peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I can't even say it myself. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep. The greatest love songs of all time. With the first of 2 in a row from the Isley Brothers, this is Real Woman. Ronnie said, you will never know if I'm happy or sad, single or in a relationship, or broke or rich. Don't watch my page. And, that's interesting because whenever you do something like that, whenever you put yourself out there like that, people come from miles around, and nobody put it quite eloquent like our mayor when at his inauguration. And he said, I have so many cousins I never knew that I had. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never know how many cousins you have until you've been elected mayor of a city, a major city, the third largest city. And all of a sudden, you got cousins, you got nephews, you got, uncles and aunts that you didn't even know you had. Hey, boy, I remember you when you was little. No, you don't. And what happened with me when I went into the business, my cousins treated me differently. I don't even talk to my cousins. There was one in particular that, and that is my cousin Lawana. Her father was instrumental in me getting into the business as a DJ. Right, Bobby? Well, nobody wants you when you're down and out. I heard that. But her father, he showed me how to hook stuff up. you know. Yeah. He, you know, and of course, he's my uncle, my daddy's youngest brother, and his real name was Paul, but he went by DJ Pookie, and DJ Pookie was the first DJ in the whole family. He liked music, so he put himself out there as a DJ, and he put himself out there as, um, you know, he taught me how to hook stuff up. He says, "Easy, nephew. All you gotta do is red to red, white to white, in to out, input output." That was it. So next thing I know, I was going to other people's houses and hooking up their stereos, and they were giving me money for it. Here, boy, here's $25. Now I'm still living at home, but my side business is hooking up people's stereos. Oh, especially when the home theater stuff started coming out, and I was hooking up the left and right, front, left and right, rear, center speaker, all of that. They thought that was just, it's too many speakers in here. Why do you need this many speakers? I said, well, the rear speakers, you hear all the incidentals, like the, people walking and everything else. The center channel, you hear all the dialogue, and the right and left is the music. It's like, how do you know so much about that? I said, well, my uncle's pretty smart. He knows all that stuff. So that was it. It was like a side hustle. A straight up side hustle. Hooking up equipment. And then when they started with the TVs and everything, hanging the TVs on the wall. Back then, you never would have been able to hang up a TV. I remember being at the Taste Entertainment Center on 63rd and Lower. All the TVs were suspended from the ceiling using chains. So they had to make these little platforms for the TVs. Level it out and then put the TV on top of it. And that was it. And we used to watch the fights and everything. And then they got fancy and got a big screen and put it in the Zodiac room. And we would watch the fights in there and run the sound through the speakers. It was great. It was great back in the day. Yeah. Can you hang a TV? I've never tried. I've seen it done, but I've never tried to do it. And I would not, absolutely not, hang a TV in somebody's house for the first time, unless I do it for the first time here at the crib. Now, I had the damnedest time just getting the TV on, just getting the TV up the steps, let alone, putting it on the wall. Now, in my studio, or this was supposed to be a second bedroom. Well, what I did was I turned it into a studio. So I had to find soundproofing. So thus the packing blanket, which is hanging on the wall, which absorbs the sound. And then I went to, I think it was Menards or wherever, and found this cork board. Because back then they had cork paneling that you could put on the wall. They stopped making it. Greg Beasley, what's going on? So Can I be there when he does it? When I hang a TV, yeah. So it can hit me in the face. Yeah. Okay. Greg Beasley, what's going on, sir? Why are you gonna jinx him like that? I know, right? But hang a TV on the wall. Mm-mm. Now, once again, I can hook up your surround sound and have you going, but that TV is gonna have to sit on the TV stand. Because if I hang your TV and 2 days later you say that TV fell off the wall, guess where I'll be? Out of town indefinitely. Mm-mm. I'm not even gonna try it. I had the damnedest time getting the soundproofing on the walls. So you think I'm gonna try to hang a TV? Oh no, I'm not gonna do it. Greg Beasley back from the gym. All right. My main man. But once again, hang your TV on your wall. I know people who do it, but if I had a house, yeah, I would hang my TVs. If I had a house. I had a house once. It was 6 years ago. But anyway, I had a house. And yes, I would have hung a TV or two on the wall in my own house. But here in this apartment, oh no. My landlord had a fit that I put soundproofing up on the wall. He's like, I'm going to have to paint this all over again when you leave. I said, I will help you. Once you position the TV on the bracket, it's a cinch. That's easy for you to say. You probably done it before. Got to use a stud finder. Oh, yeah. 2 in a row from the Isley Brothers. Tears. Right here on Bedtime Stories. Greg Beasley is trying to talk me into hanging up a television. I'm like, oh no. Trish said, did you call Terry the handyman yet? I called Terry, and I left a message. But when I did, there was a female voice on the message. So I'm just assuming that Terry did not get the message. It's like, but if I do, Terry, if you're out there, I forgot Terry's last name, but he helped me get my TV, my cocktail table, my dining room table, and all the chairs upstairs when I moved in. He just happened to be walking down the street. He said, "You need some help?" I said, "Yeah," because I had the whole TV and the thing that the TV sits on. That was all in the van. He's like, "You need some help?" I said, "Sure, I don't have a lot of money to give you." He said, "I'll do it for a 6-pack of Budweiser." Terry, if you're listening, I need my bed off the floor, man. I got a 6-pack of Budweiser with your name on it. Come get it, bro. Come get it. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Coming up in the next hour, we do foreplay right now. Here's Heat Wave and Star of the Story on Bedtime Stories. Let me turn that down. Otherwise, Facebook will cut me off. Whether I say I don't own it or not. And a half gallon of Tito's. Oh, no. Well, I'll give it to him. Like, if he promises to leave first and then drink it later. I don't want to be responsible for him falling out on the floor in the house. But, yes. So, cut you off and put you in jail. I know, right? That is crazy. Mm-mm. It's bright. Mm-mm. For real though. Mm-mm. I've been in FB jail twice. I know, right? They don't play. They don't care what you put up there. I do not own the rights to this music for entertainment purposes only. They don't care. You're playing somebody else's music and you're not paying for it. When did they become the music police? That's what I want to know. But every DJ that I know during the pandemic, they were all doing music on Facebook. I used to sit up and watch Farley. Um, who else? Maurice Ice Culpepper, even Uncle Sam, and they sitting there playing music on Facebook. You know, Reggie Miles, and they got cut off. I'm like, dang. Greg Beasley said, I always appeal the decision and they reverse it. Okay, cool. You had to show me how to do that to, you know, appeal the decision. Trish said they hit me with 24 hours. You know, but once again, you know, they cut you off but quick, especially if you play anything by Sony Records or Warner Brothers. They deaf on it. These other knockoff labels from way back where they only made one or two cuts, they won't stop you from that. They won't cut you off for those. Like I used to play this one song every time I see a pretty lady walk by me. I played that song. They're like, what is that? Yeah, they didn't know. They couldn't cut that off because they didn't know. By Gemini. I could play that song as loud and as often as I wanted to, and they would never stop me for it. They're like, uh, another song by Craig T. Cooper, Quality Time. That was his own label, Valley View. They didn't care. We don't know who that is. Yep. Now, the only ones that they let you get away with, Twitch. Twitch will let you play the music. The only thing is you can't save it so that they can watch it later. You know, once you're on Twitch, that's it. Once you broadcast, yeah, don't save the video. You know, don't upload the video. Don't save it for later. So, you know, but that was it. You are the star. The star. Twitter, you can replay, yes. But, you know, back then, a lot of the jocks, you know, including me, we weren't working. We weren't working because of the pandemic. The pandemic was all go to Mixcloud, yeah. Hmm. But yeah, Facebook wasn't playing. Twitch, Twitter, because I remember I was watching Mike Love. He had a show called Stems. And every Friday, I would make it home to watch and listen to his show and be a contributor to his show. And he just stopped doing it. I'm like, where's the show, bro? All the DJs, we were all doing it because, during the pandemic, nobody was hiring DJs. Everybody was at home with their Bluetooth speakers. So we got innovative. So that's what happened. We got innovative and we started doing, YouTube videos, Twitch videos, and everything else. And that was it. But before that, Ronnie said she followed so many DJs until they started giving them warnings. I know, right? Everybody was getting warnings. They were like, look, you playing this music and the authors or the writers were not getting paid for this. So that was it. So, we found a way to get around it. Either that or they just said, go ahead. You're not hurting nobody. I mean, you got hundreds of thousands of radio stations around the country that are paying these royalties through BMI and ASCAP. Why are you messing with us little people? What are we doing wrong? Bubble says, I was out here making DJs rich. Backyard parties. I know, right? I did a backyard party. It was a few years ago. It was back in 2020. And this lady was determined she was going to have a backyard party. And she did. And she wanted me to DJ. And I did. I said, on one stipulation, I have to be in a room by myself. And I'm going to run the the speaker wire through your house. And the speakers will be outside and I'll be in a room by myself. She said, okay. And she met my price too. It was a house party. And she met my price. And that was it. I was like, and thank you, ma'am. And at the end of the night, nobody would help me because I told them that they couldn't touch me. So they're like, well, we can't touch you. We're not going to help you move your speakers into your car. Almost broke my back. Don't have those speakers no more. I remember when my voice was that high. I think I was 3. Bloodstone, Outside Woman, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. I got to interview them a few years ago, Bloodstone, and made the mistake of saying that they were from Kansas City. They're like, we're not from Kansas City. Where'd you get that information from? The lady who hooked me up with the interview, she was from Kansas City. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I appreciate that. But yeah, okay. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Greer. Hello to our new listeners or watchers on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. and I'd like to know where they're listening from. I know they're not all here in Chicago, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Coming up in our next hour, we do a little thing we call foreplay. Here's a song that I could play, and Facebook will not kick me off for playing this song. Probably because it's so old and it came out on a label that went belly up, and nobody ever bought the rights for it. Not even the guy that recorded it. Here's Gemini, and Every Time I See a Pretty Lady on Bedtime Stories. The merry-go-round, close the well. Listening from Quincy, Illinois. Hello. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Quincy, Illinois. I guess I'll walk with my vacuum. Okay. Cool. Me. Uh-oh, I'm running out of ice. I'll be back. Maryland, hello. Thank you. Hey, I take them anywhere I can get them. Enjoy the music while I go to the kitchen. And I promise I won't slam anything. Yeah, I can be quiet in the kitchen. Southside. Pair of bubbles. Southside. Every time. Lose my mind. 1546 West Water Street. Mm-hmm. 1546. What's Water Street? Where is that at? Blue Island, of course. Did you get the Zelle I sent you the other day? I sure did. I certainly did. Thank you, Ronnie. And see, that's just it. When nobody else will send me money, you will. And I truly appreciate that. I really do. I don't know what's wrong with these other folks, you know, excluding Pat Westbrook, Pamela Hawkins, Trish, and one other person. And of course, you. Everybody else, they don't send me any money. Mm-mm. I, I could be like, broke and desolate, shaking my cup for some change. Like really? I'm starting up your fund again. Oh, for singing? Okay. I don't know what the problem is. I don't get it. Now, if the shoe had been on the other foot where it was like, okay, you need some money, I'll send it to you. I had to tell my daughter no today. Daddy, you got $45? No. She's starting off the week right. Wrong. I'm like, sweetheart, daddy ain't got it like that no more. Now I'm paying $900 for rent. I don't have it like that. I might have to go back to the senior home where it was like $500 a month for a studio apartment. Oh yeah, and make a studio out of it. I'm like, oh no, mm-mm. I can't do it. But I'm doing it now. Back when I was working at Williams and Pizza, they were paying me $200 a night. So that was the rent money right there. $200 a night, Friday and Saturday. Oh my God. I was working it, baby. I was working it. Mm-mm. So, the numbers are dropping down. I know what that's from. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Another 75 just left in the past 15 seconds. Where's those 350 bets? Anyway, Troy still the hater, I tell you. Oh, it dropped down now. 6, okay, 7, okay, cool. But I appreciate those people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for staying on as long as you did, for the short time that you did. So I guess they got tired and sleepy. So desperately. They fell asleep. You got that right. Bubble said they fell asleep. And evidently they logged off in their sleep. Ha 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 ha. Troy, the hater. I know, right? Bedtime story. Thank you. Would you tell them? Thank you. Me wait. Let me wait. Okay. He milked that song, boy. I tell you. Major Harris, formerly of the group the Delphonics. Yep, that's how he got his start. And Love Won't Let Me Wait, produced by the great Bobby Eli, who was one of the lead guitarists for the group MFSB. Love Won't Let Me Wait, 1975. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, about 10 minutes away from foreplay. Here's Johnny Gill, Quiet Time to Play on Bedtime Stories. Quiet time to play. That's right, bedtime stories. So they went to bed. It was their bedtime. Hello? Mm-mm. Johnny Gill. Nobody said anything about my hair. Does it look different? No? Okay. Ain't you proud to be? Sing it, Johnny Gill. Mm-mm. Sing it, Johnny Gill. Mm-mm. Time to play. Mm-mm. With a woman's eye. Sit in the night. We're waiting for the sunrise. Daryl Hall, John Oates, they hate uh, the term blue-eyed soul. It's like, why does soul have to have a different color eye? I didn't start that. It's like, just deal with it. Daryl Hall, you know, you can go. You know, they were born with soul, not pigmentation. Just saying. You know, Sarah, Sarah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Daryl Hall, John Oates, Sarah Smile, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. It's the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Brought to you by our good friends over at Grubhub. The Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories here on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WDLB Indianapolis, BiggsRadio.com, of course, as well as WRLN Radio and Jam 98. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. This group hails from Philadelphia. They made their mark as the background singers for a very popular gentleman by the name of Marvin Gaye. Before they were, who they are now, they were known as the Butlers. The Butlers, yes. And the lead singer, his name is Harold. So when Marvin Gaye got a hold of them, they became the Lovemen Limited. So they were the background singers for Marvin Gaye. If you listen to his live album, they're singing, background. Marvin signed them to not Motown, but he signed them to Capitol Records, where they spent most of their career making music. And to this day, you gotta wear white when you go to a Frankie Beverly and Mays concert. Marvin named them Mays. Don't ask me why. It's the best thing he could have done, though. And gave Harold Beverly his brother's nickname, Frankie. Tonight we feature in Foreplay the music of Mays featuring Frankie Beverly on Bedtime Stories. People sing. To remind me of love. Sing, Frankie. And it's time to eat my sandwich on camera. Or at least half of it. On camera. So earlier today I was eating my lunch, right? I love the Singapore noodles. Well, we had the ramen noodles. So I'm eating, right? And all of a sudden, I'm trying to hurry up and eat so I can get back in the studio. And I'm dropping peppers all over the board. So I'm wolfing down And all of a sudden I start to gag. I'm like, nobody's around. And I'm just gagging. And all of a sudden finally I dislodged a noodle from my throat. You're right. My life flashed like, oh no. Don't let me die in the break room at the radio station across from the studios and nobody can hear me coughing and gagging. I guess they just thought I was just, oh, that's Al. He just playing around again. I was like, I coughed up that noodle went flying out my throat. I was like, whoo, thank God. Yep. So I was like, nobody was going to help me. I went back in the studio, right in the control room. I didn't say anything. I was training this young guy, and I didn't say a word to him. Like, I'm choking. Nobody heard me, right? Nobody. Mm-mm. I mean, I could not believe it. And nobody heard me. Nobody heard me gagging. I'm eating on Subway. Tuna sandwich. Eat fresh. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. Subway. Eat fresh. Why every morning at church they feed us McDonald's? I have a refrigerator full of egg McMuffins and sausage McMuffins. I don't eat pork. I don't. I just don't. Everybody else, they just wolfing them down. Oh, you gonna eat your sandwich? Go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Eat all that pork inside of you. Go right ahead. I know churches be next to a McDonald's. I know, right? Woo. Whew. That pork. Mm-mm. it somehow just doesn't agree with me. Misrespect speaks Aretha Tatum. What's going on, cuz? Aretha Tatum on my live. That's my cousin. We didn't know we were related, and we worked together at WGCI, and then find out until later. I'm like, we cousins? Okay. How cool is that? Hey, cuz. Mm-mm. Good to see you, cuz. Thank you. And she's watching me on YouTube right now. Thank you. Well, Para said, because some reason all churches be next to a McDonald's. I know, right? And see, they know what they're doing when they build these restaurants. You see a church's on one corner, a KFC on the other corner, and a Popeyes down the street. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. You know, McDonald's, and then there's a Burger King. Well, you know what? I haven't seen a Burger King in a while. There was a Burger King over on 69th and Halsted. I never will forget it. A good friend of mine did security in there. So whenever, I wanted something to eat, I picked my son up from school, and we would roll down on Burger King. We were in Burger King one day, and the next thing we hear is gunshots outside of the Burger King. Yeah. Pow, 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 pow. We get back to the car, right? They done shot out one of the tires. Like, I'll be doggone. Yep. They closed that Burger King down. So we have no choice but to go to McDonald's on what is that, 69th Street, right off the Dan Ryan. That's it. That's all. So, but yeah, those restaurants are strategically placed in different spots against another place that's doing good business. Like, if you don't want churches, you can get Popeyes. You don't like Popeyes, you can get KFC. Harold's, they don't need the competition. Harold's, they are the competition. Mm-hmm. Yep, they are. Because you can't get chicken right away at KFC or Popeyes. I'm sorry, I take that back. You can get it right away. But if you go to Harold's, they're gonna make you wait. What's going on, Baseman John Caldwell? John will tell you. Harold's, you have to wait. They cook it halfway and then they finish it when you come in there. So it's always, because when you go into when you go into KFC, it's been sitting there for a while. Churches, they're good about it. They'll fix you a whole fresh batch of chicken. you know. But yeah, you're getting it right, Trish. You're getting it fresh. So I'm like, okay. But Harold's don't play. They don't play. You know, yeah, you go in there, it's guaranteed to be fresh. Guaranteed. And fully cooked all the way through. All the way through. You know, like, what's this? Like, that's not cooked. Never hear about that at Harold's. Mm-mm. You go to KFC and, you know. But see, KFC doesn't fry their chicken. It's in a pressure cooker. The only thing that they fry is the extra crispy. But the original recipe, they don't skimp when it comes to the original recipe. And I was told by this young lady who used to work there, nobody knew what the secret ingredients were. The herbs and spices, they would send them at different times, only to be mixed at a certain point, and then the chicken put in there. So it's and it's not fried chicken; it's steamed or pressure cooked, and it's just weird because they say that the chicken is not really chicken. If you've ever bit into a bone, the bones for Kentucky Fried Chicken are soft. So if you ever bite into a bone, it's like your teeth go clean through the bone. You just do. I'm like, oh, okay. The bones are, try biting into a bone from Harold's. It ain't happening. Yep, just see what happens. Trust me. I'm sure you're going to run to KFC tomorrow, aren't you? They are genetically, what is it? Genetically produced chicken. It's not real chicken. But what is it, though? Mm. Yep. GMO, genetically modified something. Okay. That's scary. Mm. Organism, thank you. Mm. Which is scary. Um, was they clone the chicken or what? Mm-mm. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Mm-mm. And pain. The morning after. Mm-mm. What did you say? Jamie Foxx is cloned. Jamie Foxx is not cloned. That's just the name of the movie. They cloned Tyrone. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Jamie Foxx is not cloned. You was kind of joking. Yeah, you kind of joking, right? Mm-mm. As people are saying he doesn't look like himself. Who does he look like? He looks like Jamie Foxx. He sounds like Jamie Foxx. You know. So I'm like, because my good friend Casper, when he went through his whole thing, he was pale as a ghost. Casper the ghost. Anyway, he was really pale afterwards. And I started joking about his appearance, not knowing, what he had gone through. But whatever it was, it took some of his pigmentation away. I started calling him Chico DeBarge, so yeah. Why even go through the trouble of cloning? What would be the purpose? Loss of blood, yes. He may have had to go through a transfusion or whatever. He lost his pigmentation. You Y'all used to dark Jamie Foxx. Well, he was light skinned Jamie Foxx. You know, got a dark skinned girl looked like Michael Jackson. Got a so that's a lot of blood to lose where you just look like, yeah, loss of pigmentation. I mean, unless he had vitiligo like Michael Jackson, Mike was a whole different color. He was. If you watch the video for "You Are Not Alone" with Lisa Marie Presley, he looks almost neon in that video, like he's glowing. I'm like, good grief! Nobody loses that much pigmentation. He looked dago, yeah. Excuse me. She said, glow in the dark. I know, right? Mike, is that you? Yeah. You're glowing in the dark. I know. I'm like, dang, Mike. Vitiligo makes you glow in the dark. Make you just, have an eerie glow. Like like Rick James, he had an aura around him, Unity. Anyway, totally different. Totally different. Lack of sun from being in the hospital will do that after a month or so. Really? Oh, wow. And thank you. Like, wow. I was in the hospital in the wintertime, so I guess that didn't count at all. I'm just saying. Wrapping up foreplay. The Morning After from Maze featuring Frankie Beverly right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep. John Caldwell, you didn't watch too many episodes of the Boondocks. I got reverse vitiligo. I get darker and darker still. I was like, okay. I'm like, what? Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Wrapping up foreplay on Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, The Morning After. I tell you this, I love Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. I love them. But I'd be damned if I pay that much money to go to a concert where they're going to make me sing. Oh, no, I ain't doing it. Sorry, Frankie. Hear the Manhattans on Bedtime Stories. I think I ran out of, what was that, Frankie Beverly? He said, Frankie Beverly. Cranky. All right, I'm going to the bathroom and I'm closing the door. Woo, I'm back. Ooh. Doo-doo-doo. No more meat left. Ooh, Lord. Hmm. Ooh, Lord. Get warm in here. And just think in the wintertime, I don't even have to turn on the heat in this room. Tina Marie. So I got a gig tomorrow in Blue Island. Hello, of all places. It's a senior event. So I'll be in wonderful Blue Island, ladies and gentlemen. Blue Island. Wow. Feels like I'm getting a cold. I shouldn't be getting a cold, right? Maybe it's just my sinuses. I think that's what it is. Well, I just said I thought I was getting a cold, so maybe it's just my sinuses. I take all of that back about a cold. I don't want to talk that up, right? There's nothing worse than a summer cold. Here, 90 degrees outside, and you're in the house sniffling. Just saying, sniffling and stuff. It's not a good feeling. Not good at all. Mm-mm. It is not a good feel. Mm-hmm. Ooh, 28 minutes left. Ooh, look at there. Time flew today at work at VON for some strange reason. But I love that strange reason because I was out of there in no time. I'm like, cool. And was able to pick up my new mic stand. You tried to sell me that $800 computer. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I'll pass. She's the godmama of Maya Rudolph. That is Tina Marie, Young Love, right here on Bedtime Stories. The show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Rick James, who took her under his wing, he had a choice to produce a new album on Diana Ross or to produce an album on this newcomer by the name of Tina Marie, or I'm sorry, Mary Christina Brockert. So he chose to produce an album on Tina Marie and gave her name, Tina. Kind of like Ike and Tina, right? It's the Ike and Tina thing. Here's the first of two in a row from the main ingredients. This is my inspiration on Bedtime Stories. Oh, yeah. It is 71 degrees at almost 12 o'clock at night. 71 degrees. Good Lord. You're quite a sensation. You're quite a sensation. Mm-mm. Re- Revitiligo. Thank you, John. I get darker and darker still. Uncle Ruckus, no relation. No relation to what? You got to watch the Boondocks. I started watching it all over again from the beginning. And they never should have taken the Boondocks away from Aaron Magruder. You know, when they did that, it was like it just wasn't the same anymore. And then that was it. That was crazy. They had a good thing going for a while. You know, that was an excellent cartoon. It made you think, it made you laugh, everything. Yep, I love the Boondocks too. You know, like I said, it made you think. If Alger got any darker, he'd make Grace Jones look like Carrot Top. Ah, thank you, Troy, once again. Mm-mm. Once again, Troy, you have, yeah, made another funny joke. Mm-mm. Guess you'll be talking about my pimple that I found. Oh, no, my eyeballs. Ha ha ha. You're funny, Troy. Mm. Yep, I got a pimple on the side of my face. You would think at my age I wouldn't get any pimples, right? You would think that. Yeah. Anything is possible. Anything. Troy made me study up on my white history. Oh boy. Woo. mm. So what have you learned, John? You know, that George Washington wasn't the father of the country. It was what was his name? It was the other president who was the actual father of the country because he fathered so many children with black women. So he was the real father. George Washington didn't care for black folks unless they were slaves. That was the only reason that's the only thing he had to do with them. But yeah. The main ingredients. The name that they got from they got it from a Coke bottle. Yeah, the main ingredient. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. 20 more minutes left of foreplay right here on Bedtime Stories. When I say foreplay, oh my goodness. I know I'm really getting sleepy now. It's almost that time, when you get my age, you can't wait to lay down and go to sleep. That's so sad. I used to be a night owl. I would go all the way until like 3, 4 in the morning and then get up and go to work the next day. Hungover and everything else. Ah, yes, those were the days. Here's Force MD's Tender Love on Bedtime Stories. Tender love. The tender love, give it to me. Tender love. To you. Where Jerry Lee Lewis invents rock and roll, but it's plagiarized by certain types of people. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get to that part. So those will be the missing pages of white history. I was watching this documentary on Chuck Berry, and Chuck was quite a character. His wife stood by him until the end. Even though the allegations of him taping women while they were using the washroom, he had VHS tapes of women coming to their house and using the washroom. He had cameras set up in the bathroom. So he would watch them urinate. Like, okay. Like, okay, Mr. Berry, sir. But all the musicians that they interviewed, they all praised him for what he did. what's his name? Joe Perry from Aerosmith. Um, 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 Sal. All I can think of is Sal in The Sopranos. Um, Little Steven. So that's why he got the name Chuck Dingleberry. I'm like, wow, this guy he's the father of rock and roll and the father of kink. You know, you have to be a special kind of person to videotape someone taking a piss in your own bathroom. You know, why not praise him for what he's done? And I agree, John. I totally agree. You know, praise him for what he's done. You know, creating, um, I guess, what you would call rockabilly. So that was basically it. But I was like, why is he taping people, you know, using the bathroom? Some men like that. It's almost like, you know, we all have fetishes. Ric Flair didn't get woo from Chuck Berry. He got it from Jerry Lee Lewis and Great Balls of Fire. Case closed. Okay. But anyway, what was I saying before? Men have fetishes. Um, some men like women who have pretty feet. I'm one of them. You know, pretty manicured hands. You know, some men like ugly feet too. I don't know too many guys who like, you know, hammer time, you know, crib walking and stuff. John said I'm not into feet. Well, John, what are you into? You know, what attracts you to a woman? You know, we all have different things that attract us to a woman. You know, we do. But of course, John is definitely not feet for you. So, you know, you do. Okay. John said, I'm too nasty. John, I used to be like that when I was younger. And I can share this with you because I talked about it earlier off the air. You know, I did a lot of things in the past that I'm not proud of. A lot of nasty, freaky stuff. Yes. There you go, Greg. I did a lot of crazy stuff. I was reckless. And I said this to somebody else. I said I was reckless as a young man. I was just reckless. You admit it, you would still lick a woman's poop chute. Yeah, if it's clean, yes. I'm going to be like this when I'm older too, and I'm proud of it. Go on, John. I ain't mad at you. But, you know, I've gotten to a point where, you know, all of that stuff, you know, I don't know if it was setting me up for something or whatever. You know, I think it was, you know, if it's clean, it's a butthole. Oh, okay. Mm-mm. It could never be clean. I understand. I call him the original Luther. Luther Ingram, ain't that loving you for more reasons than one, right here on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Recently, this whole weekend, we had, I guess you could say, beehive fever. Yep, she was in town, Beyonce. And Trish wanted to hear a Beyonce song. I'm like, I don't think I have any Beyonce songs that I can play on this show that don't include, whatever. But I did find this one. The Ozzy Brothers and Beyonce. Make Me Say It Again, right here on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Ask that to whomever has to smell your breath. Okay. Woo! I'm not licking fudge tunnels like you two weirdos. Okay. Ah, that's hilarious. The Doo-Doo Chasers. Al and John, the Doo-Doo Chasers. Fudge tunnels. Never heard it quite put that way. Fudge tunnels. Okay. Not the fudge tunnels. Okay. But all of a sudden, this conversation just got out of hand, just that quickly. How quickly the conversation can change. This is supposed to be a love song show, and here we're talking about fudge tunnels. Okay. The Hershey Highway of Chocolate. Oh God. Oh. The Woo. Good thing those 300 real people left an hour ago. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, well. That is, yeah, I had 300 earlier. Yeah, you missed it, John. I had 300 viewers. Yep. I broke the internet like Beyonce. I have no idea where those people came from, John. Well, I have an idea, but I don't know why they didn't stay. But yeah. Yeah, there were 315 people here. Oddly, they left 100 at a time in a span of 10 seconds. Yeah, like real people. Exactly. I was like, wow. But that was crazy, John. That was crazy. It's just the numbers kept shooting up till finally it was topped out at about 315 people. I was like, wow. And a few commented too. Thank you, Trish. A few of them, I was, yeah, I was speechless, outdone, led astray, run amok. Like, dang, where all these people come from? Anyway, thanks to Bubs. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And of course, Ronnie and Trish and all the rest of them. Thank you. You know, I don't know who was responsible, but I thank the three of you all for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Them brown eyes got wider. Yeah. It's going to be 91 tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that at all. I'm just not. I'm already not feeling that. Mm, 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 mm. Like we used to say back in the day, it's going to be a scorcher. Mm, mm. It ain't going to be nothing nice tomorrow. Trust and believe. I want to run my hands through it. Okay. Sounds good to me. I bet you're going to turn on the AC. Yeah, most definitely. I will burn up in my sleep. Boy, I tell you. Got the fans going and everything. I ain't playing. Because if it's 70 degrees right now, I can imagine what it's going to be in the morning. I can only imagine. Everyone without air conditioning should be sweating like Whitney Houston in a sauna. Mm-mm. You're funny, Troy. Hmm. And there's your Beyonce, Trish. Beyonce and Stevie, Beyonce and the Isley Brothers. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much to Trish, to Ronnie, to um, did I forget anybody? Yes, I forgot a whole bunch of people. Bubbles, get it right. Caring Couture by Coretta, Greg Beasley, Light Bright 1085, whoever that was. Yeah, thank you so much. Chevelle Capital, all these new people. Michael Perkins, thank you so much. Everybody. I was like, wow. Latanya Lynn Garrett, I appreciate you. DJ Carl Dobbins. And if that weren't enough, to brother, I forgot his name. Kiki, there we go. I appreciate every one of you all. Artina Lindsay, whom I haven't seen in years since I worked at GCI. Roberta Rankin, Mr. Hypnotic, just everybody. Thank you so much. Let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? Right here on Bedtime Stories. And you too, Troy. Yeah. And of course, especially, all those 315 people who were on earlier. All right. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Bubs. And we're done here. Thank you so much. And as we exit out of the chat room, you said name all 15 people, 315 people. Yeah, right.